will no longer be a GMW after today. I am going to start tearing it apart, getting the engine and the transmission ready to go into my new 300Z. I have not brought the 300Z home just yet, mainly because I have a space situation. So what has to happen is I have to get the engine and everything pulled that I need out of this car, and then this car moved before the Z will come to my house. So for the time being, good homie Eric is gonna let me store the 300 at his house until I am ready, and then once I am ready, we're gonna get cranking on it. All right, guys, it's time. It's time. It's a sad day. Sad day, but an exciting one at the same time. She's leaving. She's leaving. So, a little update for you guys. It's boiled down to it, guys. The GTO is race car. Yeah, I mean, it's set up for it. We're gonna continue to build off of this one, but the goal is to get this guy swapped over. And I don't want it. I want it to be running and driving within a couple weeks, hopefully. So that's the deal. Depending on if shipping and all that stuff goes to plan, a couple weeks the other car will be running, and then I'll be driving it on the street.
We're gonna take them headlights and put them on my truck.
I have to daily this thing for the next
couple weeks,
and then once I get the other one going, then I'll be driving that one on a regular basis. So that is the deal for now. But we're gonna swap these out, and then we're gonna get cranking away on this. In all honesty, I could probably have the engine out of this thing tonight if I really wanted to, but I gotta go get the engine hoist for my friend. So it should be ready by tonight, and tomorrow I'll have the motor out.
Yeah, tune in for the rest.
Yeah. Now, guys, I would probably keep this running if I had another motor to put in here, and transmission, but since the other one needs it, I definitely want to put my LS in here. It'll be the easiest to do a low-cost LS swap. The only thing I probably will be buying is motor mounts. Everything else, pretty much, I have Z32 transmission on here, you know, my 5.3, and then I'll probably buy some long tubes and figure out the rest of the exhaust. But everything else should essentially just bolt in. So this is why I think the swap will go so quickly. It's time. It's a bittersweet thing. I did really enjoy this car. I mean, I definitely wish I had something else to put in here, so then the car doesn't go to the junkyard or anything like that. But I'm gonna post it up as a roller, and we'll see. We'll see if I sell it or not. If not, really can't sit on it long. I mean, I could only sit on it maybe like a couple days because I need the space. And but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It was fun while it lasted, but this thing gave me a hell of a time. I broke it a lot and fixed it a lot, but pretty much daily drove this thing for the past year and like 2 or 3 months. I definitely got the mileage out of it that I wanted. Originally I bought this car for $250, so to LS swap it, pretty much build the whole car for about $3,000, and then added a bunch of stuff within the last couple weeks. It's definitely, I got my money's worth out of it, and it is what it is. So with that being said, let's start tearing this thing apart. The lovely thing about the LS and how I did this whole swap is the fact that everything is very simple. A lot of this will come apart in a matter of minutes as I'm talking to you, struggling to pop one connector. All right, we got a mess now. Wiring harness is almost ready to come out. The cool thing about this is pretty much I routed it right inside here through the firewall. So soon as I get the O2s off, I can pretty much pull the wiring harness, and then I have to run it back through the firewall this direction, and we're good to go. But next thing would be just crank out exhaust, pull exhaust, and then once I pull the exhaust and the drive shaft, this thing could pretty much come out. I still got to drain fluids, but I drove it today, so the block and everything is still pretty warm. So I'm just gonna let it cool off overnight, drain fluids in the morning. Once the fluids are drained, then this thing is pretty much ready. Another day, another day. I'm in the GTO right now. We're heading home. I got a bunch to do today, so pretty much I'm gonna drop the GTO off, and then we're gonna go pick up a transmission for my dad. And yeah, it's an adventure. My buddy Eric out in Greeley is he's building a different car, so he's pretty much parting out all of his old stuff, and you know, he's giving me a hell of a deal on a T56. So I'm gonna go pick up the T56 with my dad, so then we can really get the ball rolling on his truck. So my dad was really adamant about a 6-speed car, well truck. I know I don't really cover much of his truck, mainly because, you know, it's, you know, with my dad, you know, he's working a lot. We do a lot of stuff, so he hasn't really had the time like I do to work on the cars. So we're finally making some strides to get his cars going. And all right, guys. So here's the progress. This is where I ended off yesterday. Pretty much almost ready to take the harness out. This side header is unbolted. I was letting it pretty much cool down yesterday because it was super hot. My buddy David said he's gonna let me use his engine hoist, and I forget what the piece is called, but it hooks up to the valley cover here, and then we can lift the engine out from here. So, but for right now, me and this guy are gonna go get a transmission.
Yep.
You excited?
Heck yes.
So yeah, like I was telling you guys, he had been talking about getting a 6-speed this whole time. He really loved how the GTO drives, and yes. So yeah, I drove the GTO to work today, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, this thing's so nice."
And he keeps trying to go automatic, and I said, "Oh, okay." But
no, it was more for the budget. It's more for the budget. Oh. Only because automatics are easier to find. So, but anyway, we got a long drive to pick this transmission up, and should be good. Oh, so last thing before we take off, I couldn't get myself to, I don't want this thing to go to waste. So the GMW is actually gonna go to Eric, and we're gonna do a full-on GMW build with him, and then I keep the Z, and we keep the BMW around for a little while, and race it, have a good time with it. But yeah, it's not going away, it's just going to the owner. So I'm pretty much not to the owner, I'm just giving this guy to Eric because he helps me out so much. So this is my gift of gratitude, and it will be V8'd again, and then mine will be done. Yeah, and then I'm gonna be racing my dad, hopefully, taking bets who's gonna win. Pops, can I just give away what your truck is?
Give away what my truck is? What do you mean?
Because nobody knows what truck you bought.
Yes, let him know.
Okay, so he has a square body S10. Actually, it's pretty much done and ready to go.
93. It's right now in storage.
Yeah, it's been in storage for a little while. Been trying to
piece everything together, but now we got the motor, now we got the trans.
And I got a clutch from the GTO that he could use. He's pretty much going to use my LS7 clutch for his setup. Them road trip snacks. Them road trip snacks. We got a little 2-hour drive, so we're filling up. Gotta love the car part adventures. So after some drooling, we're almost there. By drooling, I mean I was taking a nap. Well, Pop,
You did it, man.
you just got a T56, an F-body T56.
That's what I wanted the whole time. Do I go left here?
It looks like a dead end, but yeah, it's back there. Well, Pop, you happy?
Heck yes. I'm taco pink.
Got a solid transmission.
Yes.
So, another piece of the puzzle.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys can see it back there. Nope, I can't even see it back there. But yeah, it's back there.
It's the time for games and it's the time to kill. Make up your mind, baby, cause the time is here.